I'm Phil Richard, and I own Phil Richard Insurance, and this is one of my passions. I very much look forward to cooking for my family and friends, and so I thought I would bring to you some type of recipes that I use for parties, Super Bowl stuff, but also that are quick, easy, nutritious, healthy, and have all organic product without preservatives. This recipe is Cilantro Lime Chicken. I like to cook lean, so these are boneless, skinless chicken thighs, organic chicken thighs that you can get almost anywhere today. So this is really simple. On the chicken, all I did is I took some paprika, sprinkled it on top for some color, and this is a smoked paprika, which I really like. I put a little chipotle pepper on there because it got a nice bite. Like I can smell that paprika right now, and it smells awesome. And then I used some salt. You could use kosher or sea salt or Himalayan salt is the rage today. It's supposed to be very healthy for you. I'm not really sure, but I didn't have enough of it, so I'm using this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make this sauce, and the sauce has a 1/4 cup of lime juice, which is, approximately 1.5 limes. And then we're going to use a 1/4 cup of honey. I'm going to say that that's about 1/4 cup. That's the thickening agent, so you don't use flour or any of that kind of junk. And then you're using 1/3 cup of cilantro. That might be a little overly generous. And 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then there's 2 garlic cloves in there. Lastly, a little sprinkled chipotle pepper. And actually lastly, a pinch of crushed pepper. And then you just toss it up. To me, it feels a little bit thin at this point. I'm going to put a little more honey in there because it really makes for a great finisher on the meat. And now we'll go over to the stove and we'll pan sear the chicken. So what we're doing here is as you can see, I've got some asparagus, which I love. It is sauteing. You can steam it. This is a little more fattening because it's got the ghee and the coconut oil blend in it. So I'll get searing the chicken here, and I am going to put some more coconut oil and ghee in here to saute these. You want it to be a pretty good base here. This could be one of my favorite all-time meals. So while this pan is heating up, you'll see that over here I've pre-made some jasmine rice, which I love. Basmati is another one. I tossed in a little cilantro, a little butter. I cooked it in chicken broth, not water, because it gives it that extra added flavor. Otherwise, rice can, it can get a little bland. And then what I did, and I love the coconut. So basically what I do is I take any kind of coconut milk. This happens to be Goya. And I just put a little, maybe 1/4 cup in there and let it saute up. And I'll put the cover back on. Just get it warmed up because it was already cooked. You don't want it to get too, thick, if you will. And what I'll do with this is I'll put a bed on the plate when I serve it. Those asparagus cooked right up. All vegetables should be crunchy, have a little brown to them. What I try and do is to then stack them so they don't absorb too much oil while I'm waiting for the other food to cook. This shouldn't take more than like 8 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes aside. Spice the other side of it a bit. Keep in mind all these spices as they cook off are going to end up in the pan, in the oil, in the sauce. Give this a stir and turn it off now. really want them to brown nicely. I'm flipping them once here just to kind of soak up some of that oil. See how they'll brown up super nice very shortly. I'm just going to make sure that these are cooked through before I put on this marinade. You can see, perfect, nice and moist, just right. Now I'm going to turn down the heat just a bit. I'm going to pour this marinade over the top. That's that honey marinade, and watch how it thickens. And what you end up with is just an amazing sauce that could rival anything you'd buy in a, you know, like a Asian restaurant, or well, I guess you could be a Mexican restaurant too. And so you just let this do this, it'll thicken up. See how it browns up? Kind of nice. So what I'm going to do now, I think we're getting really close. I mean, I could definitely bring this down even a little further, you know, because I think it could thicken just a little bit more. But I think because I had so much oil in there, it's staying like this. It'll continue to burn off, and if I reheat it tomorrow, it'll be a lot less juicy. It'll be more thicker. You can see as it sits in the soy sauce and the honey, it continues to turn this nice golden brown. Man, I'm telling you, there's nothing like this meal right here. Like I said, I just like to create a little nest, put the nice sauteed asparagus here, and now I'm going to take that piece in the middle. This piece looks absolutely yummy. And the best part of this right here is this juice and these little nuggets that come off the chicken. They are unbelievable. When I tell you that this stuff is like candy, you know, you have all great intentions of having maybe 1 or 2 pieces. But every time I come out here to put a plate away or something, I'm dealing another bite. It's that good. Voila.